Hi, happy Friday. What's up, y'all? What's going on? Okay, I just want to say to everyone, welcome to Rumbi Uncensored. And guys, I hope you're well. And shout out to you guys. I know that most of y'all missed me. I know, and I understand that, it has been hectic, but God is good. So here we are. We are going to be having a very, very powerful, strong conversation tonight. And also, talking about what Nelson Chamisa said regarding SADC. And I tell you, ZANU-PF is panicking, as literally panicking, even though they pretend like everything is okay. But you know what? Their moves can actually tell what's going on in the camp. You know what I mean? That's what we're going to be pursuing tonight. Also looking at the interview that Promise MKWANANZI had. This week has been such a hectic week. You have seen how many interviews that has been going on. And now today, we're going to be listening and also analyze the interview for Promise MKWANANZI. I'm excited. Don't forget, Nessa, good to see you. Moses, I'm so glad you're here. Don't forget, guys, to like the live so that we can push algorithm so everyone can come and have a conversation. Good to see everyone. Nelson, it's good to see you. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Happy Friday, everybody. Okay, what an amazing day. Like I said to you guys, only 3 people are busy on a campaign trail. They are busy as we speak right now. I don't know those who are not doing anything. I am busy, yeah. I'm busy. Everyone is busy, literally. Because, I saw, today Osalosi and, Shibaya were literally in Mashonaland. Let me tell you, I'm going to say shout out to DUBEKO, Mr. DUBEKO, shout out to you, please. Because he went on like heavy, literally heavy on ED and the leadership in ZANU-PF. Very powerful submissions and points right there. Okay, take a listen, please.
Musaterere zvakawanda zvinokutaurwa nana Mnangagwa kunzi SADC summit what this and that, it is all nonsense. Zimbabwe iri kuda utungamiriri unenge wasarudzwa zviri pamutemo, nokuti vose vakauya vakataura kuti ma-elections akaitika muno mahasi ma-elections. Hamuna kuteedzera mutemo wenyu, hamuna kuteedzera protocol yeSADC, hamuna kuteedzera protocol yeAU, hamuna chamakateedzera. Saka Mnangagwa paari paya munhu akangozvikasa asi president wenyika ineyi. Ari kuzvinopera kuti agara 6 months ari paya usiri president hauchinje kuti wanzi president. Saka Mnangagwa is not a president of this country. Mnangagwa basa hero kune vemachechi. We know kuti vakawanda vemachechi vanoenda kuState House vachinodya macupcake vachikanganwa kuti vanhu vavanotungamirira havanei nemacupcake, vanoda utongi hwechiberere. Saka vemachechi basa hero endai kuna Mnangagwa mumuudze kuti ngauye patafura asangane navachamisa vataurirane kuti ma-elections vasina kuitika toita sei. Nokuti tiri kuda new elections, tiri kuda a proper government. Economy yaramba kuti kune ma-elections akaitika. SADC yakaramba kuti kune ma-elections akaitika. African Union yakaramba kuti kune ma-elections akaitika. Saka toteerera ZANU here. ZANU yakafanana neFAS. It's an affiliate of ZANU-PF. Ndosaka mchiona mai vave avachipaka skava nokuti ndeve ZANU-PF. ZANU zvainogona kungoita chete kuinda kunoita ma-primary elections kuZANU-PF. Kwete ma-elections enyika.
True.
Tatyisidzirwa zvakwana. Tatyazvakwana. Iye zvino yava nguva yokufesana nomuvengi head on the ishama munobva. Let's deal with them. Mukatityisidzira nhasi ivavo vacho vangu vauya navo vachaenda kana vaenda ivo chasara nandi. Saka ZANU-PF we have to face them head on seMashonaland and Central. Zviya zvokuramba chivanyengerera kuita fanika nyika ndeana mai vavo haisi nyika yana mai vavo, nyika inei ndeyedu tese. Mashonaland oye, MaCentral oye, MaChamisa oye.
So good.
Chamisa hasina kodzero yokuti ngakuitwe maelection manyora nokuti akasiya pati. Yange sinyaya pati. Yange inyaya yevagari nevana vemuno muZimbabwe. MaCitizens ndiwo ari kuda maelections manyora. Haisi pati. Maelections atakapfura maari. Vakauya kuzoona vakataura kuti haana kubudisa maresults ezvido zvevanhu. Saka handei tono prepare for my elections matsva. Munangagwa hatina asingada tomuda patebhuru vanotaurana navachamisa kuti maelections iwayo tomaita rini. Asi tiri kumada gore rineri. We won those elections this year. Hatingaindiri mberi kuchifara mhuri imwe chete. Zimbabwe haisepo mnangagwa. Masoja haasi kufara, mapurisa haasi kufara, maticha haasi kufara, varimi havasi kufara, munhu wese haasi kufara. Handei kumaelections kuitira kuti tiudze ugaro hwemunhu wose. Maita Mashonaland Central. Kana tadzokera uku. Handei tinotanga macampaigns. Handei tinotanga kuita chii?
That's what we call leadership. That's definitely leadership to me. A man who's very committed to see a better Zimbabwe. Yeah, this is what I've been telling many people to say. Can I ask you a simple question? Why is it we can easily accept wrong? Zimbabweans, we need to start introspecting. We easily accept nonsense. Everyone was watching and saw that these elections were literally a sham. There were backup reports, again confirming that the elections were not free and fair. But all of a sudden we say we must put that behind us. We put that behind us, and where are we going where? You know, this one I do not understand. When we put that behind us, where are we going? What is the vision of the country? If we don't have that in place, if we don't have nothing in place, we need to ask ourselves. Some people will say, no, because I've got a job, you know, I'm in the diaspora, I'm fine with my family. What about your brothers and sisters? What about your relatives? Because all your relatives are not in the diaspora. We don't really think. We don't think about the consequences of relying on a flawed or on a broken foundation. There was never a free and fair election. Everyone saw it. But we think we can just move on and put that behind us. Bear in mind, I can remind you, no one, absolutely no one has title deeds to Zimbabwe, which includes ZANU-PF. Do you remember I did a video here that ZANU-PF do not have title deeds to Zimbabwe? But every time when they speak disrespectfully, disgustingly, we accept it and we just move on like everything is okay. Now we wonder why they never stop mistreating us and disrespecting us, because we keep allowing them to trample on top of our heads and do as they please. After that sham of election, they recalled most of our members of parliament, all recalling them councillors. There was no way Shavangu would come from anywhere and just come and do such a mess that he did in parliament. But you know why? They know that we will do it and there are no consequences. But it's time for us to remain resolute in what we believe in and say the right thing or nothing. We are not going to change. We want a free and fair election in the country. We want to see better leadership. What we have currently, they do not represent Zimbabwe. They are representing their political party and friendships. It can't be the nation that we want. And I have so much respect, and shout out to really Mr. DUBEKO. Honestly, I have so much respect for him. This is the language that we all need to start talking. We need to speak up that something has to give. You are seeing how cars are being dished out like literally like sweets. I've been asking myself questions. Zimbabwe is known for having more than 60 minerals. I'm talking real minerals. Zimbabwe is a filthy rich country. They are proving it to you by dishing out cars to individuals in the country. Mercedes-Benz. To prove to you that no, the money is here in the country. But the money is in the country for us, not for you. It's your country, they're your minerals, but let me tell you, this money is in this country for us, the few. We are the only one who deserve to live a better life. But I want to remind you that all of you deserve a good life. We all, Zimbabweans, deserve a good life. It's really time. All these signs should put us to the edge of saying, no, we can do better as a nation. We can demand having a better country. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing now. I want you to know that there have been a lot of sideshows, a lot of them. I've told you regarding the issue of SADC, especially the SADC issue, that most people just say, no, there's no more SADC. Bear in mind, there are also people who are speaking on behalf of those that are benefiting. And you must remember, there have been people that have unleashed on social media to act as if, everything is okay. And they always speak to silence you and I, so that we don't pursue truth. This is why I'm saying it is time. It is really time for us to stand firm and do what is right. It's time for us to stand firm and do what is right. Not what people want to hear, I'm saying what is right. There's a difference. What people want to hear and what is right are not the same. Let's do what's right for the nation. Zimbabwe for everyone. So let me tell you, it's time for you and me to do what's right. This is why I'm saying shout out to Nelson Chamisa for literally making that move. The move that Nelson Chamisa made was simply to remind the few, the elites, to say, no, listen, I'm not a leader for the few, I'm a leader for Zimbabwe. This is why people are calling out fresh election. And you've seen all the moves that ZANU-PF is making. Remember, I told you last time, do you remember when they said that people that came into the country came to be taught how to do elections by ZEC? It wasn't true. You ask yourself, why those lies? Because they're trying to send and push a narrative so that you guys can believe that all this sham election is in the past. You saw the creation of that called NERA, quote unquote, where Linda Masara was, and also Douglas Monzora. All these side shows are simply to divert you from truth so that you think, oh, it's over, let's move. No, it's not over until God says it is over. You also saw them literally, this week, bring his people, the so quote unquote delegations. Have you ever, all of you, have you ever seen SADC sending a delegation for that country alone without other representatives from different countries? Definitely not. Ask yourself why. So you guys can say, oh, Tambo, SADC failed us, at Sinenabo, you start bashing people. It's simply, a propaganda wing. The fact remains, there is going to be a settlement in the country. This is why I'm saying we all have to push to say it is enough. We want to live in a country where everyone is being treated the same. Everyone is important. Everyone has to be treated as such. No one is better. These people must just eat vaoneka vari vari kudhiraivha mota vachidya when everyone else is hungry. No, it has been going on for decades, and it's time for it to stop. It is time for that evil to stop, so at least everyone can be treated well. So this, you saw the Sengezo fiasco. See what's happening with some of the people who were quote unquote claiming to be Triple C. Look how they all of a sudden, turning against their own people. Their side shows are simply to divert you from the sham election. Very sad with Mr. Mafume, a very sad interview. Very sad interview. But here's the thing that we're going to be doing tonight. We wanted to take a listen, take a listen to Promise MKWANANZI's interview, because it will definitely going to let you know what's really going down in the country. There's been a lot of speculations, but I'm glad that Promise MKWANANZI, he showed up to clear the air, to say, no, guys, now this is who we are. So everyone should know where we stand, so that there are no speculations. We all know where Triple C stands. Take a listen, please.
And here on the hot seat, I have Promise MKWANANZI, who is here to talk to us about what is happening in the party, illegal or not. Welcome, Promise, and thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you, my brother.
Thankful. Now, Promise, let us talk about the crisis in your political party. Now, first and foremost, who is the genuine spokesperson of the Triple C?
There is absolutely no question about the genuine spokesperson of the Triple C. As you stated in your opening remarks, it is Promise MKWANANZI, as appointed by President Nelson Chamisa at the time, and nothing has changed.
But Jacob Mafume, who's also the spokesperson, or calls himself the spokesperson of the Triple C, says in Blawai, he said with the national executive of the Triple C, or rather of the MDC alliance, which was rebranded into the Triple C. Let's clear the air on that one.
You put it rightly, Mr. Mafume calls himself whatever he calls himself, but the fact of the matter is that Mr. Mafume sat in Bulawayo, God knows with who, under what mandate, but according to his own statement, he was sitting on the auspices of an MDC Congress that took place in 2019 in Gwen, and that MDC was later obliterated by the courts of law, by the Supreme Court actually. And at the time of that Congress and that the obliteration of the MDC, the Triple C did not exist. The Triple C only began to exist in January 2022. And it is my singular plea that Mr. Mafume and his group must not pretend to be a party, let alone a faction of the Triple C. They, according to their own basis, they are a faction of the MDC, and they must face their skeletons with Mr. Monzo. Professor Wolfman in particular has never been a member of the Triple C. He's never attended a single meeting of the Triple C, the Citizens National Assembly, and never took part in the campaigns that took place that brought about the MPs and councillors.
Sorry, because I do not want to proceed with this interview. If people can't hear me well, I just want to ask, can you guys hear me well? Can you hear? Please, if you can hear properly, just drop the blue hearts, because this is a campaign trial. Okay, drop your blue hearts if you can hear well, because some people are saying the volume is low, but it's extremely high my end. So please let me know before I proceed with the interview. I want to make sure everyone is part and parcel of this move, please. Thank you very much. Thank you. There's someone who said the sound is low. Maybe you need to increase your volume, please. It is actually very loud, my end here. Okay, so let's proceed.
That we're talking about. He never participated.
That's not a fact. When the Triple C lodged in Blawayo in the by-elections, I was there to cover in live.
Okay.
We attended that rally.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The Triple C had its rally
at White City Stadium in the 2023 general elections. Watchman
Thank you.
dressed in yellow was sitting next to Nelson Chamisa. He was even sitting next to Nelson Chamisa in the Bridge rally. I covered him, I saw him, and we filmed him. So that is not a fact, is it?
You see, you are mentioning 3 occasions. President Chamisa held more than 100 rallies across the country, campaigning for Triple C. And if you give those 3 rallies or 4 rallies, whatever, to him, clearly, Professor Wushman cannot claim what he's claiming about the Triple C. He did not attend a single meeting of the Citizens National Assembly, and these are facts. And that totally disqualifies him. If you miss 3 consecutive meetings without an adequate explanation or excuse or apology, you are automatically expelling yourself from the movement. And that has been the case with both Professor Oshimwe and Mr. Tendai Biti. But more importantly, Blessing, is to really look at the checkered history of these gentlemen.
Before we go to the history, I want us to be clear. How did Nelson Chamisa become president of the Triple C? Who voted for him?
So what is going on?
Of the Triple C and the president of the Triple C in terms of our constitution as well as the Citizens National Assembly of our party.
How did you found this party? You just woke up and said
anybody can found a party.
Yeah, I know. I want to
how is neither in there. If you can find your own, if you feel like you want to form your own party, you take a group of people.
Because promise we
are talking in terms of the laws of our country.
We need to be factual here,
yes,
and not fudge facts. The Triple C was formed, right, as a political party.
Yes,
and the same faces that were in the MDC alliance,
but it doesn't matter.
No. Yes. The same faces, the same structures, the same members of parliament who in the MDC alliance find themselves in the Triple C. In fact, at Bronte, where the party was announced, I was there. The people who were preparing for this were staff that used to work for the MDC alliance, right? Were spokespersons who used to speak for the MDC alliance, right? And then when you say someone just founded the party as if it just rose from thin air, I don't understand. So make me understand.
If you are going to get answers from me, you have to let me explain to you.
Yeah.
You see, President Chamisa founded the Triple C. He stepped aside from the MDC and said, I, as Nelson Chamisa, I'm stepping away from the MDC. I'm going here and I'm starting a political party called the Citizens Coalition for Change. Those that are willing to join me, we are free to do so. Those that are not, we are also free to do so. Those that want to maintain their positions of the 2019 Congress, there is the MDC, it's all yours. You can maintain those positions. If you are crossing over to Triple C, we are not crossing over with the same infrastructure from MDC, which means whoever crossed over to Triple C agreed to leave behind the positions that they carried in the MDC and came in their individual capacity to start a new political formation, which is the Citizens Coalition for Change.
So all the people who were recalled from Parliament, from the MDC alliance,
yes,
are the same people we see running as members of
I'm very okay, thank you for asking.
March 22 by-elections. Why is that so?
Why not? I mean, look, it is a democracy. If you go to leading democracies in the world, even in Africa, if you go to Kenya, people cross political parties as many times as they want, and people can form political parties as many times as they want, isn't it? If you go to Kenya, at every election they form a party or they form an electoral vehicles under which they contest elections. There is absolutely nothing untoward about that. Some did come along with Advocate Nelson Chamisa, others stayed with him, but it is their democratic right. So, but we cannot then try to conflate the MDC and and Triple C, because these are two distinct entities.
So what you
the claim they are making is a claim of the MDC as constituted at the Congress of 2019, which is fine and which is their democratic right. But they must not then try to insulate their MDC garbage into Triple C.
So what you're basically telling me is I take all this equipment that belongs to HSTV, I take the stuff that belongs to HSTV, and then I say, it's now Dara TV. This is what Chamisa did.
You can say...
That's a terrible analogy
guys,
there.
I'm leaving. What is the name of that guy who left the other radio? Zola, what? You can leave. You can say, guys, I'm leaving Heart and Soul. I'm from Dara TV. Those that want to come with me, they can come with me. Those that want to stay here, they can stay here. But those that stay here can't then say, you have rebranded Heart and Soul into Dara TV, because you left them. And you told them that you can keep and maintain your positions here and continue with this. But personally, I'm going to start a new program. And those that want to come with me can come with me. Those that don't want. But there'll be no confusion there.
It's amazing that you tell me that Tendai Biti, who was the vice president, did not join or did not become the member of the Triple C.
We don't talk about Tendai Biti. I spoke about Watchman. He joined. But how much effort did he put in?
I saw Tendai Biti in Chipinge with your president.
Yes.
I saw the Triple C using Tendai Biti law chambers as its hub for press conferences.
So I saw, what about after the primary elections? What did you see? What did you see?
I saw you guys running around the country.
Campaign. Okay. And who was at the forefront of the campaign? It was Nelson Chamisa.
On the day of nomination, when your president Nelson Chamisa then President Nelson Chamisa went to file his papers, he was flanked by Tendai Biti.
Yes.
And when your Blawayo candidates were denied an opportunity to be on the ballot box, they were represented by Watchman. Yeah, I saw it in court.
Yes, they were represented by Unganga.
Watchman
Unganga could have been there and so on and so forth. But look, he should not claim what is not there. Because in the Triple C, there's never been a position of deputy president, for example. They say that's why they have to talk about MDC.
But you can't say Watchman wasn't part of the Triple C. That's you know when you're talking to members of the public,
My brother,
yes,
Watchman was not, and there's never been the deputy president of the Triple C, because there's no such position. There's no position of Secretary General. There's no position of all these positions that they're claiming to.
You know what's so sad about this is that I'm flabbergasted about the fact that people are even focusing on positions rather than leadership. We are literally fighting to be free, and some are fighting for position. I mean, it's crazy. Like, it is really, really crazy. Yo, you and I, we are awake right now. We are talking about freedom, yeah. We want a Zimbabwe that functions for everyone. We want water. We want electricity. We want opportunities for the young. We want a leveled, playing field for almost every Zimbabwean. Young people want to be treated the same. Today I was thinking, I'm like, it's sad how a few think that they are far better than others. I'm looking at people who think they kind of breathing different air than everyone else, forgetting that we are all Zimbabweans. We all deserve to be happy. Nowhere where it's written that the title deeds, the title deeds for Zimbabwe belong to ZANU PF. Every Zimbabwean wants to be happy. Every Zimbabwean wants to be treated well. People want their votes to be respected. And here we are. We are looking at Mr. Ngube. Did you see that Mr. Ngube was actually today on NRTV and people were laughing and said, when you see getting airtime from ZBC, then you know definitely you're working with the regime. These men are literally fighting for position. They're not fighting for freedom. It is embarrassing and it is shameful. And I also love when he spoke about the history of, I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater because I've seen people are working so hard. Look at people like Ostalos. They are busy pursuing freedom because they're young. These elders don't care anymore. They do not care anymore. They have a history of destroying all the time. When there is a momentum to push wrong in the country, they divide the people. They divide the vote. They cause chaos. But I can tell you they will never win this time. This time they never win. People have played this dead for too long. We are definitely on a campaign mode. You can see ZANU-PF is campaigning. We are campaigning. Two-thirds majority, it will not work. It will not happen. People are saying it will not work. Zimbabweans have said not two-thirds majority. No. 2 terms are okay for every president, be it now or tomorrow. Change is around the corner. You and I must work together to make sure we realize a Zimbabwe for everyone. We want a better country. It is enough with drama. We are not interested. We want progress. Imagine even after the Shama election, it has been drama after drama. We have never had progress in the country. People are just fighting. Court cases. Today you are fighting Sangezo. Tomorrow you're fighting that one. Tomorrow, no. We need a country that is facing progress. We cannot carry on like this. Young people want to see jobs. The country is rich. We know Zimbabwe is money. They are proving it today that there is money. Cars are being dished out daily. It's a joke. It's a joke. You know, it is a joke. You and I, we must stand firm. The Zimbabwe we want must be delivered. Not tomorrow, yesterday. It must happen yesterday. Yesterday. People are tired. It is said, but let me tell you, promise from MKWANANZI is respect for promise. Respect. He's very calm, answering questions. Try to tint Nelson Chamisa. Do you know that Mafume lied that he had this meeting in Bulawayo when it was only him? You saw chairs that were empty. He was calling himself a spokesperson, so you wanted people to come, they didn't turn up. So it was only him who had that presser and lied about David Coulthard. David Coulthard embarrassed him today and said, sorry, Mr. Mafume, I am not part of your caucus. I'm not part of that. Men and women of integrity, people are rising up. They are sick and tired.
So they cannot say, I saw today say, I'm the vice president of the CCC. There was no such position.
Let's talk about, you are fighting for control of CCC that is effective.
We are in control of CCC. We are not fighting for control.
You are in control of
CCC. We are in charge of control of the CCC.
Why did you recall them in that?
Sorry?
Why did you recall them in? Which one? The MPs that were recalled, the councillors that were recalled.
You know, very blessing that our MPs, we cannot, it's only people who did not put an effort who can make that kind of reckless.
But you said you're in control.
We are in control.
Yes, so if you're in control, you're the one who's recalling.
No, it's not us.
So you're not
we're in control of the party. Totally. You see, the party is not just MPs. The MPs are a small component of the party. The party, when you speak about the party, we're speaking about the emblems of the party. We're speaking about the structures of the party. We're speaking about the supporters of the party.
But the essence is for political parties to gain political power. Is it not?
It is.
And you don't have political power at the moment.
We do have political
You tried to
we may not have state power, but we have power. We have influence. We have the following. We're the largest support in Zimbabwe. And the recalls that you refer to were done by ZANU. We all know that. They were instigated by Mnangagwa, aided by an imposter who would not belabor the people of Zimbabwe about that knowledge which is now public and general knowledge that it was not us, the leadership of the CCC, who did the recalls. It was an imposter who was aided by the regime to recall our members of parliament. These imposters continue to be in bed with the regime. And whatever they are doing, they are working together to try and decimate the genuine and authentic CCC, the genuine and authentic leading political party in Zimbabwe, which was led by Advocate Nelson Chamisa.
Now, some would argue that you don't have the following as a party. Nelson Chamisa is the one who has a following. But how would you push back to that?
Well, that's a matter of semantics. President Chamisa, for sure, is the largest following in Zimbabwe. In fact, in my view, President Chamisa is the leader of the democratic movement, the democratic alternative in its broad sense in Zimbabwe. And his resignation, paradoxically, actually elevates him even over and above to become the leader of the democratic alternative in Zimbabwe, beyond and which transcends political parties. Those that may not have believed in Triple C and those that may have believed in other things can now have the opportunity to support President Chamisa beyond the Triple C.
You continue using the symbol with Nelson Chamisa's face as you communicate about on issues of Triple C as the party spokesperson.
I see.
The guy left the party.
Yes, the guy left the party.
So why are you abusing his face?
We are not abusing his face. His face is part of the part. Genuine Triple C, which he led, and in which he appointed me and others to be part of the leadership contingent that he was driving. There is no discohesion, there is no contradiction between ourselves and President Chamisa. We respect his decision to step aside and his reasons for stepping aside. We agree with his reasons, so do the people of Zimbabwe.
So why are you forcing him? Why are you dragging his face?
I'm not dragging his face.
We have seen his face has been dragged.
His face has been the symbol of our party since its formation.
So it doesn't
in January 2022. And as we speak, we have had the 60th National Assembly to look into the resignation of President Chamisa and look at what it means to the party, its implications. And part of that reflection is on what to do with all the things that you are asking. It's a process, a decision-making process, a collective decision-making process of the leadership that remains in the aftermath of the resignation of President Nelson Chamisa. And remember, President Chamisa resigns from the Triple C, but does not resign from politics.
I love that.
Now, you had a constitution in the Triple C.
Yes.
What happens to the Triple C in the event of a president resign?
What do you mean?
I mean, is there a succession plan in the Triple C?
Look, we have a living constitution, which is one of the best constitutions ever crafted.
And you believe that?
I believe that. It's a living constitution. It is because
The constitution that has the name of a particular individual, and now that he has resigned, you are stuck.
We are not stuck.
You are struggling to find a replacement.
No.
At one point, you were appointed president, or you appointed yourself.
No, my brother. We are not struggling at all.
Uh-huh.
We are cruising nicely. We have set.
I love that. Do we look like people who are struggling? We are cruising nice. We are cruising last. Did you actually see that some of our people already have the blue color? I said, no, very soon I'm coming in with my blue cap and my t-shirt, my shirt. You know what I mean? We are cruising nicely. We are cruising nicely. Soon we get into winter. We'll be having our jackets cruising nicely. So Triple C is Triple C. The authentic one that Promise MKWANANZI is referring to is working in cohort to Nelson Chamisa full time. You know, he's just walked away to see so that these BT Mube Mafume were going to be exposed. That was the goal. Because remember, for a long time, Sengezo kept on saying, I'm working with Mafume, Walsh Mengwendi BT, and they were just quiet. Do you remember that? He kept on saying, so Chamisa was wise. He just lied. And now everything's out of the bag. We can all see who the real perpetrators are. The people that lied to us. Some people are saying Wende, but we still need to see what's happening with Wende. And also our father, Walsh Mengwendi. They saw the struggle. We can see. yesterday, Mr. Washmingwe was having an interview on ZTV Prime. And the moment you start getting all those airtimes on ZBC, then we know exactly what your agenda was. The agenda is very clear. So we are cruising nicely. We are here. Don't worry, we are here full time.
As the Citizens National Assembly, which is the highest decision-making body, to reflect on the resignation of President Chamisa, we selected Senator Timber to be the chief administrator of the party, in conjunction with appointees that President Chamisa left there, including myself as spokesperson, and others who are leading different bureaus of the party. So there's no vacuum, and this information is particularly targeted at Mr. Mafume and others. We are thinking that there is a leadership vacuum in the CCC. There is no leadership vacuum in the CCC. We have filled in the position, the gap, and we are leading.
All right, let me do
Let's
this.
talk about your ascension temporarily to the position of president of the CCC. Let's have that discussion.
Temporarily.
All right, can you guys hear
In the
properly?
morning, with the letter that you are the president. Parliament received a letter that you are now president. In the afternoon, there's a press conference. You are no longer the president. So you were president for a bit of 4 hours.
Yes.
How did it feel to be president?
I've been a president.
Can you
before
guys hear
the students
properly for those that haven't been
at the
hearing
university
properly?
as well as the
Can you
National
hear
Students'
properly
Union.
now?
So I know the feeling. But you see, that those were strategic interventions in light of the resignations
All right.
and in the context
I'm sorry about that.
of the
I'm sorry
vouchers and
about
the opportunities that we're speaking about. We're closing a particular game.
I'm sorry
We did
about that.
close it until
It's the technology
we're able to
that was
sit
connected,
as a
so I
collective
apologize.
and
I'm sure
formally
they
fill in
forgot to increase the
gap. So
volume.
there's nothing
Sorry.
amiss there that took place. To an ordinary person or to somebody who doesn't understand the strategy that was being employed, just they will have questions. But internally, in terms of our internal strategy, we're quite clear about what we were doing and why we were doing what we were doing.
Thank you.
And let's talk about you working with the state. You are a CIO.
I've never worked with the state. I've never worked for the state in my lifetime. If you follow my history, I come from the students' movement, right? It's not the National Students, SADC, it's not the National Students Union. Youth, I've been a youth leader in this country, in the opposition, in the democratic movement. I've been a leader of Tajamuka, in the opposition, in the democratic movement. And now I'm a leader in the opposition in Zimbabwe. Look, if I wanted to work for the state, I would. If I wanted to work for ZANU or to join ZANU, I could, because it is my democratic right to do so. But we didn't, and I will not. I belong to this opposition. And there are reasons.
So sorry,
I don't belong to the opposition for the sake of belonging to the opposition. But I belong to the opposition.
But your history doesn't prove anything, promise, does it? Because Tafazo Mugwadi comes from the history of student movement.
Yes.
I
think the example that you use is very, very, very useful in cementing the point that I'm making, which is to say, if I wanted to work for ZANU, I wouldn't need to hide or to be apologetic about it. It would have been my right to do so.
The accusation is that
As
you
much
are
as
a mole. The accusation is that you're a mole, and
The accusation from whom?
you know, because you have been responding to some of this.
From whom?
So you're sitting here to have your voice and your face, because you have seen your responses on social media. You're sitting here to face the people of Zimbabwe so that you give them a response.
My conscience is clear. My heart is clear. I don't have sleepless nights. I don't have skeletons in my closet. I serve this movement with my whole heart. And I serve it from the bottom of my heart. And I do not care what people say. Because deep down in my heart of hearts, I know where I stand.
Do you remember last time when Hopo was accusing Promise MKWANANZI of being a CIO? Do you remember that? And then people, which include me, I said to him, okay, we are tired of these allegations. Can you please share the evidence that you have? that Promise is a CIO. Do you remember that I came in, then I played a small little clip where it was saying, hey, Chamisa is a danderhead. I'm working with a crocodile. Do you remember? Do you remember that audio that I brought here? That was their proof that I'm sure they actually got someone who was on the street to say, please can you just do this mercy for us? Literally, just cause a chaos. Do you remember? I can't believe it. So honestly, he has cleared the air. He isn't a CIO. You had promised, he confirmed he isn't a CIO. So now that he confirmed and it is on record, we're going to use that. Should we know later on that he is actually a CIO, we'll use that also still against him. But honestly, the goal I can see, they're working hard to try to destroy Nelson Chamisa. That's the goal. Because remember, Hopo Chingono and Tenebiti, they've been buddies. Since the time all these recalls started, he was saying that there were few people that were disgruntled in Citizen Coalition for Change and asking that Nelson Chamisa should talk to them. Do you remember that? And then later on now he's coming back again and saying, accuse Promise MKWANANZI because he came in on the eve of elections. We had Fazema, who was the spokesperson. Then every time he communicates, people used to bastardize him. I mean, you know, guys, no one is perfect, okay? No one is perfect. I hate the culture of always criticizing people. If someone is trying, let's learn to support, to affirm, you know, so that at least people can be better. But if we bastardize people all the time, criticizing them, we aren't building anything, you know. But so the goal of these guys is to dismantle everyone who's strong around Nelson Chamisa, because they want, I'm sure this war shenanigans they're busy playing is maybe hoping that people can wake up and be leaders, but unfortunately not. The rest of Zimbabweans are in love with Nelson Chamisa and they want him to be their president. It is what it is, and people have to just make peace with it. There's nothing they're going to do to dismantle Chamisa and the relationship that he has with the citizens. That one is a heart relationship. You know, a heart-to-heart relationship is a do or die. It's a do or die. So for them working hard and trying to destroy Nelson Chamisa by lying that Promise MKWANANZI is a CIO is crazy. It is crazy. The worst thing that they could ever do. It is crazy. But anyway, take a listen.
I've been a loyal cadre of this movement and I'm proud to have been one. So to some extent,
what is the motivation behind people who say that you are a plan?
There has been a systematic attempt to discredit people that are perceived as being supportive or sympathetic to President Nelson Chamisa. And you're going to see it unfold where there's a systematic attempt to discredit leaders who are perceived as being sympathetic to President Nelson Chamisa in Parliament, in the party, everywhere. They are going to be labeled. And those that are labeling them, their aim is not, it's not even Triple C. Their aim is Nelson Chamisa. They want to work together with ZANU and other elements to destroy particularly the image and standing of President Nelson Chamisa. And we're aware of that. And we are not worried about that because these are things that we knew beforehand that they are coming, and we have countered them, we have contained them. The movement is in order, our supporters are clear, and we're moving forward. Just this afternoon, I was meeting with a group of church leaders, you know, speaking to them about the way forward. As stakeholders, we will be meeting the students, we will be meeting labor, we will be meeting the media, we will be meeting the informal sector. We are meeting different sectors of our country in order to have a conversation with them on what has happened. Let's check the way forward.
On the other hand, Nelson Chamisa is gone blue. Is meeting people differently. You are meeting people differently, but you all say you are working together. I mean, this is confusing from us.
The confusion is meant for the opponents.
Right.
There is no confusion internally.
But I'm not an opponent. I'm the media. I inform people, and I'm confused.
They're not confused, Blessing. Okay, where is the confusion?
I don't know why people find this actually harder to understand, because when we look at how ZANU play their games, the most toxic and confusing ever. How do people expect us to also just play a straight line? No. It doesn't work like that. It's a game of chess. You know, you play the dirty game, we play the dirty until we get there. It's a game of chess. You move, we move. You move, we move. The bottom line is, Zimbabweans are very clear. They want a free country. Not a country for the few, the elites, you know. No. We want a country where people are not supposed to be given a Mercedes-Benz to prove a point. Where individuals can actually buy their own cars, can afford to buy a Mercedes. What is a Mercedes-Benz anyway? What is it? Compared to purpose, it means absolutely nothing. So whatever the agenda is and the goal, it will not work. You know, we are in here like full time. Their hearts are sold. You cannot frustrate the relationship that people have with Nelson Chamisa. They love him as a leader. You know what I mean? Who wants to be around toxicity? Nobody wants. People in Zimbabwe wants peace. Now here's the thing. Most Zimbabweans are disgruntled. So at the end of the day, whoever that offer them that sanity, they go with him. Which Nelson Chamisa is offering sanity. And the Zimbabweans are saying, we'll go for it, we'll support you to the end. So this one thing, they're trying to block the SADC thing, it's a waste of time. Let me tell you, the freedom is coming. It is coming very soon, sooner than you think. All I can say right now is congratulations. Freedom is finally here.
You're blue, you're yellow, you're sometimes non-committal.
On what?
You are sometimes CIO. I'm confused.
That's the most laughable thing. I know these guys, they try whatever they want to try, but you see, you cannot defeat the truth. You can try, you can use all your journalistic skills. In the fullness of time, you have to show the truth. You have to show the evidence. You have to prove that this is the truth. And the truth is incontaminatable.
So you represent and you believe in Nelson Chamisa, right?
Nelson Chamisa is my leader. He's been my leader for a long time.
And your leader has been accused of being autocratic.
Leaders will always be accused of something.
No. They're accused of being autocratic.
By who?
By the people that he used to confront. By Watchman, by Jacob Mafume.
Watchman should just rest, man. I saw a photograph of him and I felt sorry for the old man. Let's relax. It's time to relax, talk to young people, folktale, and enjoy his life. His time is up, unfortunately. And I spoke about the checkered history. I hardly speak about people's personalities, but when you look at the history of Professor Watchman and the things that he has done to prevent this movement and meeting its objectives, it's quite sad. In 2002, they connived with that guy, they accused Changirai of treason, they split the party, they support Simba Makoni. In 2013, he refuses to be part of coalition, divides the vote, and now in 2024, here we are. He's still at the forefront of being destructive in the opposition.
Why is it that every time you guys in the opposition disagree, you are name calling?
About these are facts. I'm not even emotional about it. I'm just stating facts for the public to make their own judgments. These are historically established facts that are beyond debate. This has been his role. And I wonder, looking at him as a professor, to say, is this the legacy that he wants for himself?
But you guys, your President Nelson Chamisa, as then he was, knew about this. But he insisted, even after the death of Morgan Changirai, to have Watchman by his side. But you say he's got a checkered history. I mean, was the man blind?
The man isn't blind. The man is a unifier,
But he's failed to unify his party. It's in tatters right now.
The party is not in tatters and has not failed. You see, when you have a girlfriend or a wife and they do something, it cannot be your fault, man. It can't be your fault. He gave the olive branch to say, those that want a new Zimbabwe, let us work together. We were, at some point he was shouting at me personally, saying, why you keep mentioning people's names? You're being divisive, you're being this. We want everyone so that we can achieve change together. That is the spirit of the leadership of Nelson Chamisa. And of course, there will always be people that want to take advantage and exploit the goodwill. And we see it again.
I want us to
Jacob Mafume, you're talking about Jacob Mafume. Jacob Mafume struggled to become a councillor, to be rescued in his ward. And the people know they don't know this. And the president was saying, look, he's been our mayor, he's got this and that skills, he can be of use in council, let's make sure. But look at what he's doing today. He's gone wrong. Not just within the party, even in council, there are a lot of issues taking place at the council there, which are untoward. But Mafume
says to me in an interview that I just had with him, Mafume said to me that you are trying to use the Minister of Local Government so that you can protect some contracts that you have with the Harare City Council. And you wrote a letter to recall him.
Me as a person, or as a,
he said you wrote a letter pretending to have been sent by Nelson Chamisa to recall him from his post.
I am the spokesperson of the CCC, right? That mandate is undisputable. And I am the person who communicates the resolutions of the Citizens' National Assembly, internally and externally. And what I did was just to communicate a resolution of the Citizens' National Assembly with regards to the people that were supposed to be recalled, who have ceased to be members of our political party. The fact that the regime did not effect the recall is another matter, but legally and lawfully, that recall should be effected. And we're going to be writing a follow-up letter to the minister to say what has become of the recall on Mr. Mafume, especially in light of the new developments, where he himself says that he's a member of the MDC of 2019.
Let's talk about the contracts. What contracts do you have with Harare City Council?
What contracts are you talking about?
He said you have contracts. Mafume actually said you are corrupt and you're trying to defend contracts that you have. And you're trying to do a lab at Morton Jeffrey Works. And he, as the mayor, is aware of that.
You were saying that?
He said that in an interview.
I was trying to do a lab.
Yes.
What does he mean? Yes. You see, when corrupt people, what they do, they try to distract attention from them. So they're just like you see, when these people keep saying, so-and-so is ZANU, is a state, they are the state. And their strategy is to deflect attention from themselves and put attention elsewhere. Mr. Mafume is on a tirade of plunder in the city of Harare. It is known. Evidence has been compiled, and the evidence will be presented at the appropriate time.
So Nelson Chamisa saved him from failing to be elected. Yet he knew that this man is a tirade of plunder. What kind of political party you running?
He didn't know. And also Mafume became rogue after the elections when he was not happy that the party had not selected him as mayor. Then he went rogue. Not before. He went rogue after the elections.
So he must be punished because he's rogue, because he doesn't believe in what you're doing anymore. Is that
No. Look, when you join a political party, it has principles and objectives that you must subscribe to. Isn't it? And when you fail or refuse to follow because look, Mafume, or not just Mafume, let's depersonalize it. As every candidate who participated in elections under the ticket of the CCC, they're answerable to the CCC. Because whatever they do, wherever they are, has a bearing on the image of the party. And as leadership of the party, we have an obligation to ensure that our deployees comply with the dictates of the principles of the Citizen Coalition for Change, which is the party under which they were elected. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And when you defy Because all those candidates that you see, they were made to sign a subscription to say, we subscribe to these values, we subscribe to these political parties, and we will take direction from the leadership of the party. And when you don't do that, or when you do something that is at cross purposes with the values and the principles of the party, we cannot stand aside and watch it. We will administer whatever we need to do to ensure that either you comply or at least you are not in a position to put the party into disrepute.
Let me take you to Job Scala. He was your cadre. He has since dumped the CCC. What do you make of that?
Again, it's his democratic right. My personal feeling is that Honorable Scala should have, when he was released, I think if I had the opportunity to talk to him, it's my brother, I would have advised him to, just take time out, beat with my guru and, just catch up on what has happened in the 590, 95 days that he was in there, recuperate himself, and then at the appropriate time, make the decisions. I felt that the decisions were a bit hurried, and perhaps he could have, but it's again, I can only advise. It's his personal prerogative to do what he wants.
He said that, in his words, that the two warring parties in the CCC did nothing for his release while he still was in prison and for the welfare of his family. Why did you abandon a comrade, a colleague?
I know that you guys in the media love controversy. Honorable Scala was not abandoned. If you go to at the most basic level, I know you guys in media do information analytics and what have you. If you go to the official handles of the party and the handles of the key leadership of the party and make an analysis and tell us how many posts we had in solidarity with Job Scala at the most basic level, then you go to the courts where we were there in solidarity through and through. Yeah. It's Scala, not just Scala. In fact, the issue of solidarity in the party is a matter of principle. That whenever one of us is arrested or is in trouble, we stand with them. And it's applied to Honorable Scala to the best of our ability. What we could not do is to listen, because we don't have the power to listen. And we're not the ones who arrested him in the first place. But we know that Honorable Scala was wrongfully arrested, unlawfully detained, and in our view, must be compensated, and justice must be served.
Agreed.
He appears to be forming his own political party. Does that threaten you?
No, the more the merrier. This is a multi-party democracy. But we fought against one-party state. We stopped Mnangagwa from 2/3, and of course our colleagues have gifted him that 2/3. But we are going to continue to fight that Mr. Mnangagwa does not get to be president beyond his 2-term limits.
And you're talking about 2/3 majority, and you said our colleagues. You admit that they are your colleagues?
Sorry?
You said our colleagues have gifted Mnangagwa 2/3.
Our erstwhile colleagues. Our erstwhile colleagues. The way our colleagues. And they go wrong. We march on with the objectives of the people of Zimbabwe.
Some people have argued that the opposition in this country does not fight for the people. You fight to feed your stomachs. You fight for personal gain and glory. And once one of you is left out of personal gain,
those that are angry because they could not go to parliament are known. No.
But you said they are not.
Yes, should I name them if they are not? Everybody knows.
I don't know.
People who tried to go to parliament, they did not succeed, they got angry. It clearly shows that their agenda had nothing to do with saving the people. Because saving the people, you can save. I'm not in parliament, but I provide service to the people as the spokesperson of the opposition, and I'm okay. President Chamisa could have, accepted the trinkets by the regime. Opposition leader, these big vehicles, did he do that? He didn't. And the regime is very bitter because the regime would have wanted an opposition leader who accepts to be part of the feeding trough
so that the people are forgotten. And I want to salute Nelson Chamisa for standing strong against intimidation, against the cohesion, and even against the inducements like trinkets. He has refused. He has stood out as a leader who is principled and who is determined to save the people of Zimbabwe. And all these fights against him are because of that. So I was talking to someone saying, when I saw some summons by Monzora to against Nelson Chamisa, people are falling over each other to fight Chamisa, but those who have got the money can pay them to do.
Oh, someone's assuming Chamisa. Okay, I need to pursue that story. Oh, so Monzora is actually suing Nelson Chamisa. Oh, what a joke. What a joke. You know, this one I'm going to say to Nelson Chamisa. If they want a building, let them have it. Whatever they want, as far as it's material, let them have it. But they can't take away the love that Zimbabweans have for you. Material things come and go. Houses, man, there were a lot of people who owned beautiful homes today. They're just literally nothing. You know, so Mr. Chamisa, let him have it, but we're still supporting you. Our goal is for the new Zimbabwe, not material things. Houses, we don't care at all. Let them have it. Monzora is known for greedy. Let him have it. We are watching and see where he's going with his political career. We're watching. But as for us, what we want is freedom.
What summons are this for the offices around the country? Monzora is not saying only the offices are his office. They're citing Nelson Chamisa in those summons, despite the fact that he has resigned. But his face, his picture is blue in blue. I mean, surely he's the one who's taken them, isn't it? He goes blue. People paint from yellow. Let us separate Nelson Chamisa the brand and Nelson Chamisa the person.
I love that. Oh, yeah, that is, you know, don't confuse Nelson Chamisa the person and Nelson Chamisa the brand. You know, Nelson Chamisa the person, Nelson Chamisa the brand. You know what the brand has to do? It has to do with purpose. It has to do with your calling, why God brought you into this world. And a person is what people see. They can judge in whichever way. You know what I mean? Someone may look at me. So don't confuse Rumbi the brand and the Rumbi that you know at home. They are not the same. The one that you went to school with is not the one that So Nelson Chamisa and the brand are completely two different things. Don't confuse the two. Don't.
How do you do that? How do you do that? That's a brand. That will outlive even he himself.
Yes, it's a legacy.
I'm not putting a leader or a human being on a pedestal and making him a demigod. No. Leaders, look, if you have got a picture of Joshua Nkomo, that picture, whenever you scroll around the social media, you see a picture of Joshua Nkomo. It stimulates certain feelings in you. That is his legacy. And that's why I said, when Professor Ndube's image is flighted in years to come, what kind of feelings is it going to stimulate among the generation that will be living there? That's a very important question for any leader to ask themselves, not to be asked. And I want to challenge Professor Ndube, Tendai Bidi and others to just have an internal conversation to say, what legacy am I going to create for myself when I'm long gone? I think it's important. Undoubtedly, Tendai Biti was one of your best members of parliament in
the legacy. Do you know, I was looking at the picture of Mugabe and I felt pity. And I was, you know, guys, how many people saw the books that were written? I don't know if they were written by President Emerson Mnangagwa. Did you see the books that were launching about a day or 2 days ago? I was looking at the books and in my heart, I began to cry. I was like, you know what? What a wasted legacy. If the president, because I will never buy the book. I will never buy it. Not because, like, I don't have connection. Honestly, I've been sitting and thinking, I never benefited nothing from this regime. Nothing. So what am I doing? So looking at that picture was hurtful to me. People do not understand the power of legacy. You know, you want people to remember you for what? Pain that you've caused everyone? Or remembering you for your deeds? You were compassionate, you were loving, you were caring. You shared with those that didn't have. You respected people. You know what I mean? You understood leadership. Some of the times you even ask if you didn't know better so people can help you. And that alone is what most people don't get in Zimbabwe. It's sad to watch because there are people today that are being worshipped that tomorrow they were literally going to be nothing. And there are people who are principled today that tomorrow they will be so great, notwithstanding your background. What makes a person great is not the background. It's purpose. It's how you honor your calling and talent. That's the only reason why God will lift you up. Even if you can force yourself to the front, you're going to collapse because God doesn't want you there. Only those that will honor and respect principles can be able to survive. That's a powerful thing. I don't know what BT is going to say. Honestly, this entire wind will pass. Zimbabwe is going to be stable. And many people are going to live in shame. I'll tell you facts. They won't walk in Zimbabwe on the streets because they know. Some are going to weep, apologizing to the masses and say, I'm sorry I didn't know that's the kind of pain I caused you. It's coming. It's a matter of time. It is coming. Things are going to change. Like you said, the pressure that's going on right now in the country is an indication that we are definitely on our way to freedom. And it's very close. This year may not end. It may not end. And the people are going to be shocked. At the twinkling of an eye, the Zimbabwe will change. Some people don't even expect it because they know that we can get away with things. No, there will come a time where you can't get away with things. You know, that time will come soon. It's sad.
Especially the work that you did with the Public Finance Committee. And how do you lose such a wealth of experience and knowledge? You don't lose it. It's passed on to other leaders. Look, you don't say the term limit is put there precisely so that the best leaders are limited from serving forever. The most popular leaders are limited from serving forever. That's the whole essence of a term limit, right? It was initially introduced in America. I can't remember which president. He ran for 4 terms, winning with 98%. And they said, no, this is not right. No matter how popular you are or how good you are, you must be able to pass on the baton to the others. That's the essence of a term limit. And Honorable BT, I think, served from maybe 2000 to this day. So, and it would be tragedy for Mr. BT to argue that I have to go to Parliament because I have not managed to do a skills transfer to the next generation. I want to appreciate this. Maybe just give us facts here. Who made the executive of President Nelson Chamisa's CCC when he was president?
It's the Citizens National Assembly.
Who was his deputy?
He didn't have a deputy.
He didn't believe that there was anyone who was capable to be a deputy in his absence.
No. There were leaders in the party. You see, my brother, we must be open to new and disruptive structures. I mean, what is disruptive about not having a deputy? I mean, what's disruptive about that? No, before we go there, let's agree that. I would not agree with it. I think it is actually destructive and not disruptive. No. Look, we must, okay, for example, we at Jamaica. It was one of the most amorphous structures to ever come. But look at the impact that it had in the country, you know? And CCC as well. Well, we didn't send me the deputy. But the question is, how impactful was it in terms of being an effective vehicle for electoral competition in the country?
It's dying.
Sorry?
The CCC is dying. It's dying, yes. The president just left.
Yeah, the president left. And we're talking about the result that the CCC had from its formation in all the elections that it participated in. It was an effective vehicle. It was an effective vehicle.
Would it not be more effective had it had, if your president had a deputy, the president had...
Maybe it would have actually been worse.
Yeah.
Why? Because there's no one...
We don't know, just say.
him.
No. It's not about that.
Your president comes along as someone who's power hungry, who doesn't believe in the abilities of others and thinks that only him has an answer.
No. How would I have been spokesperson? How would Fadza have been spokesperson?
Yeah.
Chibaya, organizer, Ustalos deputy, Gladys Fletcher, international relations, Maureen Kademaunga, welfare, and many others that I'm just naming but a few. He believed in their leadership and still believes in their leadership.
One of the best opposition leaders to come through in Zimbabwe, as will always be remembered, is Morgan Tsvangirai. And Morgan Tsvangirai used to have deputies, he used to have advisors around him and stuff like that. Why was Nelson Chamisa stingy?
He wasn't stingy. He had the lieutenants that were required to serve the purpose. We were there.
You only come after elections.
Yes, but before elections, I had a lot of tasks that I was carrying out behind the scenes. You see, the issue is not many people. They focus on the leaders that are publicly available, spokesperson, and so on and so forth. But there are people who are doing a lot of work behind the scenes. We do probably more important work than some of us who are at the forefront.
You once tweeted that Nelson Chamisa wanted to make you minister. What ministry did he want to give you?
I don't know. It was up. He is the president, and I was actually honored when he told me that. It was music to my ears, not because of the ministry, but because of the confidence and trust that he demonstrated to me. And you know what? Let me tell you, and I want this to be public. I am obligated to fight on the side of Nelson Chamisa because I believe in his leadership. I believe in the principles that he follows. And most importantly, if he also believes in me in some way, or is able to give me the opportunity.
All right, I'll get a blue lipstick actually. And
it is a rare thing. Most leaders are given the opportunity, but they end up backbiting the leader, which is sad. Which is sad. When you're given an opportunity.
If I accuse you of being a praise singer who sees nothing wrong with his leader Nelson Chamisa and who always will actually lead him astray by singing praise even when he's wrong, what would you say?
My brother, we have never been in a room where I'm seated with President Nelson Chamisa, the two of us. Why should we say our weaknesses on Twitter? What is the rationale?
Yeah.
What's the point? If we're building each other as leaders, if President Chamisa says something wrong with me, I've done so many mistakes, I'm human, right? And he goes to Twitter, I'm a spokesperson, this and that. Is he building the party if he does that? But he can say, no, promise, this tweet or this statement must be corrected this way. Okay.
This is blue.
We don't
I'm very committed.
go on a public gallery.
I'm very committed.
To speak about our weaknesses as a team, even a football team.
Your president just wrote a resignation. He never spoke to the Citizens National Assembly, as you call it. Why did he do that? Why didn't he have trust in the organ?
He spoke to people. A decision to resign is a personal decision. Fine is a public figure and he is public.
But you can't have a personal decision on a public platform. He was banning. He was the face of a party, of a political party. And the people of Zimbabwe voted close to 2 million people, gave him their vote.
Yes. And they'll still give him even more votes.
You're taking them for granted?
So, no, not. Just a few days ago, I tweeted, I just wrote 2 million votes and put his face. It means a lot. And but it should not only mean a lot in terms of scrutinizing it. It should also mean a lot to all these people that are causing all this problem. To say,
what weaknesses do you think Nelson Chamisa has?
Well, I don't think this is the right platform, man. We can have coffee somewhere and talk about that. He is also human. He can make mistakes, but our duty as his lieutenants is to cover him, isn't it? Not them to expose him. The reason why you have these people is because of the realization that you are human and you're not infallible. You have other people that are going to complement and cover you.
From now, what next?
The struggle for democratization continues in Zimbabwe, and it has just been broadened and elevated. Many people don't realize that Chamisa has done a masterstroke move. He has elevated himself over and above and beyond political parties to be available as a leader to all citizens in the country. And I think that while we remain in Triple C, we believe that his principles and his beliefs and his loyalty and faithfulness and the authenticity to the struggle for the people, for the total and genuine freedom of the people of Zimbabwe must remain the compass of the masses of our people.
Amazing. I want to thank you very much, Promise, for sharing insights and talking to us about what is happening in the Triple C. But before you go, Promise, I'd ask you to look the people of Zimbabwe in the eye and all those across the world who support and believe in what you're doing, or who have doubts also in what you're doing, to look them in the eye and talk to them right now from your heart, from the voice of your party, since you're a spokesperson.
People of Zimbabwe, I want to personally, from the bottom of my heart, assure you that I am not a CEO, I've never been a CEO, and will never be a CEO. I've served this country with everything I've got, at times at great personal cost, but to me it means nothing. What satisfies and fulfills my heart is the service that I render to this country. And in the fullness of time, the legacy that I shall leave, not just for myself, but for my family, for my children, and for my countrymen. I want to assure you that we are going to continue to stand strong, to fight until we achieve the change that the people of Zimbabwe want to see in this country. We will not waver. We will not be shaken.
Right.
They might arrest us, they might denigrate, they might do whatever they want, but we stand strong and change will be achieved.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Promise MKWANANZI. The Triple C spokesperson, Promise MKWANANZI, former leader of Tajamuka, alleged CIO activist.
All right, guys. That was really an interesting and a mouthful of an interview between Promise MKWANANZI and Dara. Blessed. Shout out to him. And by the way, Dara, apparently, his YouTube channel was hacked. HSTV. That behavior, again, is one of the reasons why we are crying for freedom. Is jealousy, hatred, evil. It's time that we literally stop that nonsense by making decisions that will make our people understand that it is okay for someone to say whatever they want to say, and then they must be respected for sharing different views. And it is okay for someone to actually succeed. It's not only for the few, like what we see today. Zimbabweans have so many goals. Some people are going to be successful business people. Give them the chance, give them the platform. And if someone started whatever they start, stop running after so that you can destroy. It is evil. It's ungodly, it is wrong, and it must be condemned. So I pray, but I know that Dara will get his YouTube channel back. Honestly, something is going on in this country. They don't want people to know the truth. But listen, this is why you and me, we must remain resolute and focus on having a better Zimbabwe. I'm here, and I'm going to be here to the end. Until we cross, I'll be there. The day that you're going to be cheering in the country, I'll be there. Trust me. I'll be having my table there, interviewing prominent people, for the betterment of our country. We are not playing. This is not a joke. We are literally, life is happening right now. Life is lifing. You know what I mean? As a life thing. So guys, I'm so grateful that you guys actually tune in and just stick with me. I appreciate you so much for the time that you spent with me. Honestly, it was a long interview, but we're going to be proceeding tomorrow. So thank you so much, guys. I can never thank you enough for all that you guys are doing. Please keep pushing the blue movement. Keep supporting our brothers. You can see the work that is being done in Zimbabwe by Australia and the guys. Listen here, it's going to blow up. It's going to blow up this coming week and weeks to come until the freedom we want is realized. I love you so much. May God bless you and may God bless Zimbabwe. Bye for now.